400 episodes of The Real Raw. I'm so thankful for you fine folks being here today. So Vivian, let's find out who is here today on The Real Raw.
Oh my goodness, we have a magnificent group of people. We have Mike Clark in the house. Woo!
Hey, Mike.
He went from working in retail to becoming a retail investor, and he's a financial consultant at Primerica Financial Services. He's passionate on giving tips and tools to help people understand the basics of managing your money and how you can do this, because it's never really taught in schools. And he wants to tee you up to crush the money game to avoid living in debt. It's what he does, and he's passionate about talking more on that in his upcoming book called From Dirt to Diamonds. So welcome, Mike Clark.
Awesome. Mike Clark is in the house. What's up, Mike?
Welcome. Thank you guys for having me today.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
Where are you coming from today, Mike?
I'm actually in northern New Jersey today.
Get out of here. What part?
Roselle, New Jersey.
Roselle, no doubt. Okay, I'm in Emerson. I'm sorry, actually Rivervale up in Bergen County. And Emerson, my high school used to wrestle Roselle Park in the States and Paulsboro. And so I know Roselle and Roselle Park are two different things, but very close together, correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, they literally share one street. So yes, sir.
Yeah. Awesome. So Mike, what's your fun fact for today?
My fun fact today. Actually, I had the pleasure of playing college football at Wagner College, and my son, he actually plays at East Carolina University as well.
Good for you. What position did you play?
I play receiver.
Nice. And your son?
He plays corner.
Nice. All right. So thank you, Mike, so much for being here today. Football and athleticism are in the house, and enjoy that. We'll come back.
Wait, Sean, he just missed on telling you that he was featured in a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Mike was?
What?
Yeah.
What were you doing, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes. So back in 2018, because I do a lot of community work as well, I had a youth organization with about 300 kids. And we started it from the money that we saved from investing. So we put it into the youth, and Ally Bank heard about it, and they actually did a piece on us, and it aired during the 2018 Super Bowl.
Awesome. Mike, drop the mic. Yeah, congratulations on it. That is really awesome.
Thank you.
Man.
I was going to say we have a lot in common because I like to tackle football players, and then you went with this super heart-centered story and like completely missed the moment. That is absolutely beautiful and incredible.
Mike,
thank you so much.
Mike, we will meet the sales sorceress in a little bit, and she's absolutely ridiculous. So thank you for that,
excellent.
Mike. Vivian, yes, please.
Mm-hmm. In from Washington, D.C., we got Eric LaPaglia in the house. Where are you? Where are you? Why aren't you just jumping up and down? There you
I'm
go.
right here.
Woo! I like to see the energy, baby. Give me some. Eric is an award-winning and marketing and sales veteran and a voracious entrepreneur. CEO at Craft Show Digital, CEO at Typo, CEO at LaPaglia Properties, and CEO at ENL Consulting. But what he's most proud of is that he's an angel investor and has helped many companies come out of ruin, and is committed to helping others and is involved with a half dozen nonprofits, and he's a Tony Robbins Platinum member. So welcome, Eric LaPaglia.
Well, Eric, Platinum brother, hello. And Angel is in the house. And how are you?
I'm outstanding, Sean. How are you?
I am outstanding. How was did you have a BM2 weekend this weekend or no?
Absolutely. Played full out and really enjoyed the experience. And the breakout room and the Plat Day on Monday was just sublime.
That is awesome. And did you hear the phrase ecosystem mergers on Monday at some point?
I did.
Yes, my eyebrow was raised a couple of times in a loving, happy, good way, because ecosystem merging is the backbone language of Unblinded. So it was fun to hear that thrown around in the amazing room. But it was an incredible day, wonderful stuff. And did you see the intervention with Patricia Marseille?
I did, which I thought was great. And she is out. I just love her to pieces. And I was going to say, Sean, you should have actually been flattered instead of your eyebrow being raised, because every great program pays homage to another.
Well, no, of course, I love it. And it is absolutely outstanding. And Patricia is a part of our Unblinded Elite family as well. And she's just extraordinary. So she was all fired up. We spoke last night after, her interaction, and everybody was very impressed by the work. And so I'm going to go back through it shortly. But where are you coming from today in the world, Eric?
I am in lovely and beautiful Miami, Florida.
Nice. Miami's in the house. And how about a fun fact?
What's a fun fact? Right before the outbreak of COVID last year, I was on Carnegie in Carnegie Hall on the stage for a couple of hours for a concert.
No way.
Yeah.
What was happening? Like, what were you doing?
No, so I have a good friend who is a concert pianist, and he was playing Carnegie Hall, and he was gracious enough to let us be on the stage the entire time. And so I can say I've been on stage at Carnegie Hall, which is not indicative of any sort of musical or artistic talent in any way, shape, or form.
Amazing. Well, Eric, thank you so much. Bella, Eric, did you meet Bella or Bella meet Eric? Were you at the Scottsdale trip on Spiritual, Eric, or no?
No, I was closing a business deal in Washington, D.C.,
Gotcha.
so I missed Scottsdale. I was in Sedona right beforehand.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, yes, Bella, Eric, Bella.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
You as well, Bella.
Yes. So we will come back to Bella in a little bit, but Eric, thank you so much for being here. And what is your fun fact for today?
Oh, you just asked me, Carnegie Hall.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, like that is absolutely outstanding.
I'm not that fun. I don't have a second one. I'm not that fun.
I was filming myself. But how about this?
You live in Miami. You've got to have a fun, but that might be, you live in Miami, so it could be like an after dark fun fact.
Hey, come on now. That's another show altogether.
Maybe
That
not.
is another show altogether. We will get you on that show for sure, though.
That is amazing. And I will, like, just for fun, because we're like, it is real and raw. That is the first time I've ever asked somebody for a fun fact twice in like 400 episodes. So my apology for that, Eric. That was absolutely outstanding. And
So Sean Callaghy like made a mistake.
I did.
Is that what? Oh my God, we should celebrate.
Yes, we should. Yes. So thank you for that. So amazing stuff today, Bella. So yes, Vivian, we got some judges.
We have, and I'm not sure how you pronounce this, in from Poquag, New York, Rick Gabrielli.
Poquag.
Oh, Poquag, baby. You could say Rick, well, he left Wall Street without a job to become an entrepreneur because he's an entrepreneur on fire. In fact, you could catch his story on John Lee Dumas' podcast, Entrepreneurs on Fire. His colorful career path goes from auto body to pre-law, to Wall Street, to dentistry, to marriage coach, to author. I mean, Rick just took a leap of faith in life, and as he calls it, the free fall, because he believes his success is all due to his energy or currency, a concept he describes in his latest book, The Currency of Connection. What has energy is currency, it converts to a physical, emotional, and more spiritual life, which I'm sure he'll expound on. And it's this kind of credos that he brings into his work as area director at Master Networks, New York. So welcome, Rick.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
How are you? Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And how about a fun fact?
My fun fact was that I left that job on Wall Street without another job, with a baby, with a mortgage, with a couple car loans, and total free fall. So it's, and I also am the proud owner of a Staples Easy Button.
Oh, let me see it. Do you have it?
Can you hit it?
That was easy.
Call Greg DiPietro on speaker.
You want it again?
He gets on, it'd be unbelievable. So I'm calling Greg DiPietro, who's the greatest appointment setter I've ever seen with people he doesn't know. Greg is a dear friend. I think he's in Italy right now. Actually, no, he's in Egypt right now. And Greg had a Staples That Was Easy button on his desk, and every meeting he ever scheduled, Greg would hit the That Was Easy button.
Well, I have a good story behind the Easy Button.
Ooh,
Well, please.
So 25 years ago, right around the same time I left Wall Street, my sister married a dentist. And so after running their practice for a while, I built a dental spa and wellness center. And in order to help the patients become more relaxed in the operatories, I put an easy button behind each dental chair. So at the end of the procedure, each dentist, when they were done, especially with a complex root canal,
That was easy.
they would hit that and everybody would laugh. The patients would be relaxed. And so that's where the easy button really originated.
That is absolutely fantastic. Love hearing that for sure. And let me ask this. When you left, quit your job, like how did that feel as you were stepping into the unknown?
It's still, I've had some great days since then, but it was still one of the greatest days of my life. Just not only telling the people, but then actually leaving, getting on the train, having people calling my wife and saying, your husband's nuts. Do you know what he just did? He put you in the street, you and your baby. You're all going to be destroyed. And still one of my greatest moments.
And Rick, when did you know that it was going to be okay? Like, when was it there that, yes, like this is going to be okay?
That was December 10th of 97 at 7 a.m. By the time I got on the train and got home, it was a few hours later. So at about 10:15 a.m., my wife opened the door, and my 3-year-old was holding a sign up that said, "We love you, Daddy. We got your back." So at 10:15 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And if I could ask this, Rick, final question, as you went through the progression of what you did from there, did you have moments where you thought that you weren't going to make it, that you thought you'd made the wrong decision?
I can't count those moments, Sean. There's been too many of them, but as long as I still remember that one moment and then this moment we're in right now, if I bookend it, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's
when
awesome.
it was, I hear what you're saying, Sean, and I always wonder about that. Like, when you are at your lowest, what was your lowest like, and how long did it take between your lowest to making it again?
It's ongoing. It's like I could answer that every day. There's a low point. There's a low point every year. There's a low point. So it's just a question of, how are you measuring? You're measuring from where you started and where you are now. Then if I just look at those 2 points, I'm a home run hitter. If I look at the stuff in the middle, there's a million low points and there's a million high points. So my life looks like a heart wave.
That's amazing.
And just from my heart to yours, brother, 1997, 6 months out of law school, $100,000 in debt, working at what I thought was my dream job in the law. 3,000 people had applied to get positions there. They hired 5 of us, and I quit. Yeah. And the managing partner, 6 months out of law school, I had no contacts, no connections. First person in my direct family line to go to college. And I started my own law firm, my credit card, and they actually offered me counseling, saying I was having an adjustment disorder. Like, nobody leaves here. Like, this can't be. And I, for the first year, I wanted to quit 5 times a day, every day. It was so unbelievably gut-wrenching and scary. So when you share that, like, I'm present to the excitement, the fire of it, and then the fear of it and all of it. So my heart to yours, we are kindred spirits, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Can we get your old boss on the Real Raw?
His name,
like the one that told you were crazy?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. His name is Steve Barkin. Great guy. Could totally look him up. I went to Columbia undergrad. He also went to Columbia undergrad. You can look him up. And if we can get him on, that would be absolutely amazing. But the friend of mine who is at that firm still is definitely somebody that we should contact to be on the Real Raw, because he's the person that introduced me to the first major crazy client, the story I told this morning. So,
we got to get all these people on. We got to have like a Back to the Future Real Raw Sean Callaghy, like all your like back people.
Final story. The guy that I tell the story of, that I met as the first client with the lion, I still talk to him, and you would find him to be absolutely out of his mind. He's hysterical, crazy, funny. He lives in Florida.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The client with the lion, I need to hear more about that.
Yes. So, all right. So, quick fun fact, the 10-second version. I quit my job. I do all the things. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how I'm going to make money. And I start, and this is really the genesis of the entire show. So it's an interesting segue. I like never tell this story on the Real Raw. So I'll tell it really fast, because that, we're already a little bit behind. So I quit my job. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to networking events. I'm quickly realizing that networking is unguided, general. It is about as likely to be a successful mechanism for predictable business success as like jumping in a boat in Grand Cayman and digging for buried treasure wherever you have a feeling it's going to work out. And I really believe that. So I do believe in relationship creation, but intentionality and things. And that's what we teach at Unblinded. So, but I get this phone call that there's this crazy chiropractor that needs help with his PIP arbs, meaning collecting money from insurance companies, but I don't even know what that is. And my friend John said, would you like to meet him? And I'm dying. I'm like going to my BNI meetings in the morning. I have no money. People are asking me like, would you do a will for my Aunt Sadie for $175? And this is what my life is. And I'm like, can I pay my mortgage? Like, this is nuts. So actually my rent at that point. And so I said, sure, set up the meeting for tonight. And I'm like, John, what the hell is a pip arb? I had no idea what it was. So I go to the guy's house, we get there, and it's like Scarface-like mansion, slight exaggeration, big house, sports cars in the driveway, all the trappings of wealth, power, success, which I have none of, right? And I go into the house and he's like, hey, this is Aldo. I'm like, okay. And this is like this giant dog. He's like, if I let him off the leash, he'll eat you. I'm like, okay, that sounds less than appealing. He's like, yeah, Aldo used to work for the Czechoslovakian secret police. I'm like, wait, Aldo the dog in New Jersey, that dog used to work for the Czechoslovakian secret police? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how did you get him? Well, I got him and the other dog, and I forget the other dog's name, from the German border patrol, because they were both so crazy. They were both going to be put down, and they ended up in some rescue situation in Europe, and I imported them. I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, and then there's ISIS. I'm like, I'm sorry, who's ISIS? He goes, ISIS the lion. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. He goes, no, come on. And he introduces me to ISIS the lion in his backyard and tells me, he goes, you know how much it costs to feed ISIS? I'm like, I certainly don't know how much it costs to feed ISIS. He said, it cost me $3,000 a month in steak. I'm like, okay. And that was the beginning to the most important business meeting I ever had to date in my life. And that meeting changed my entire life. When for 4 hours, because this whole show is about going from hello to yes and the superpower of influence, I had to, with my, being a year at that point out of law school, having no concept of the things I understand today, but just beginning the seeding of it. I had to go from hello to yes with what he wanted me to do. I had to get him to say no to that, or I was saying no to that, and yes to what I wanted, which was in his best interest, and end up launching my entire law firm. And 2 years later, I had 40 people working for me and built the entire firm. And he became, my first ideal avatar client. Ecosystem mergers, speaking engagements flew out of it, and all kinds of things. And yes, he had a lion to begin with, and then we would win cases, and I delivered $3 million to his house less than a year later, and we would go into the back and feed ISIS. So that was the beginning of the journey.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yep.
Sean Callaghy.
Yes.
Incredible.
Sean
Sean
Callaghy, how my career started with a lion.
Yes, that is basic this story. And if you think that story is crazy, come to Unblinded After Dark, hear Bella Verita's story for a different day. Vivian, back to you.
This is so the Lion King, not the Tiger King, but the Lion King story here with you, Sean.
Yes, and we will have him. His name is Otto. We will have Otto on The Real Raw, without a doubt. Yes.
We have Mark Turner from Jersey in the house. He went from stockbroker like Charlie Sheen on Wall Street to a sales associate in menswear to Italy, where he traded government bonds, managed a mutual fund, and constructed investment portfolios for the wealthy, which made for a fun 22 years in Italy. But upon his return to the States, he decided to become a financial service professional and work as CFA at Mass Mutual in New Jersey. So welcome, Mark Turner.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm great. It's great to be here.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. How about a fun fact, Mark?
Fun fact, part of it already came out. I lived in Italy for over 22 years, and the Italians say I'm more Italian than American after 22 years. I don't know if that's true. Maybe you'll see in some gestures I might look a little Italian, but and I'm actually on my second marriage because my first wife died in a car accident, and my son was in the car with her. Oh. And this is like, it's a fun fact because it turned out well. It's like, yeah, I heard a lot of stories here. People that didn't have a life that was like a straight line, neither was mine. And about 2 years ago, decided to come back with my second wife. Just left everything there. I was in a private bank in Italy. I came back. I'm thinking about Rick now, just kind of leave everything. So I came over with a little bit of pension fund money, but nothing else. And we started over here. So, and my sons are doing great. One teaches English in China, and one does works in a marketing company in England. So everything worked out. It's a happy ending so far.
That's extraordinary. And my heart goes out. I certainly never had anything like that occur to a significant other. But those skis that are up there, those are my Uncle Jimmy's skis. And in 1998, he was tragically rear-ended in a car accident and killed. And my cousin was in the car. His wife was in the car. My aunt, yes, my cousin's an aunt. And I will never forget that night. So, your attitude, Mark, is extraordinary in overcoming that and the life you have created. And really appreciate you being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And do you work with Mike Vesuvio?
Yep, he's the general agent. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Well, please send my love to Mike. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thanks.
Vivian.
I want to be strong like Mark Turner. That is one hell of a disposition to have, my dear.
Yes, amazing.
Inspiring. Well, we have Julie Muse in the house. She is from Dahlonega, a north town in Georgia, right? A town in northern Georgia?
Yes, it's called Dahlonega. Actually, the first gold rush happened in America in this town.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun fact. Julie's philosophy is that anyone can be a real estate investor. She would know, for she came from very little to financial freedom, all by purchasing and selling properties. In less than 10 years, she had 1,600 plus real estate transactions and continually growing. Her gifts in showing investors her MO, which is if a property meets certain criteria, she will fund the deal with her capital and split profits with partners 50-50. In fact, you can learn more on real estate through her online courses called Partner Driven, and investing it also through her app, Deal Driven, where you get the scoop on nationwide deals. And recently, she decided to become the owner of a small construction company and is building her cabin because why not? Welcome, Julie.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vivian, for that warm welcome. I really appreciate it.
Well, Julie, first of all, thankful you're here. We have all like male judges and participants beside you. That's a very rare day in the Real Raw. So it's wonderful to have you here. Number one. Number two, to be in the space of real estate investing during this incredibly complex time. Like, Julie, what do you see on the horizon in your space of real estate investing?
Well, I really like single family homes. So I would say the biggest thing coming up right now, unfortunately, is going to be a foreclosure wave again, which is super unfortunate, but there will be a significant opportunity for potential investors.
All right. So, and I'm sure you are dialed in tight to those optics.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, that's what my app does, is finds these particular sellers.
Wow. Awesome. And how about a fun fact?
Okay, a fun fact is 1 year ago, I hated reptiles. Okay, absolutely couldn't stand to even touch them because they just gave me the heebie-jeebies. So I bought one, and now I'm on my fourth one. Wow. And I absolutely love them. And I mean, I love all animals too, but I just was like, I've got to have a reptile because I always just couldn't stand to even them walk in my hand or anything. And next thing I know, I'm at Repticon this weekend.
Oh my God. And what reptiles do you have?
Bearded dragons, crested geckos, leopard geckos, ball python.
Do you have any show and tell that you could do? I mean,
well,
hanging around that we could see?
No, they're at home. I wished I did. I don't like have any that can do leashes or anything.
Amazing. We were just on a trip to Necker Island recently. And perhaps Bella can drop in on this after her introduction by Vivian to how large the tortoise is that was like running around Necker Island. So, but we will see if Bella recalls.
I can recall, and I can bring up pictures. It was bigger than me.
Wow.
It was crazy. So we'll show a picture of that. So Julie, welcome. Love having you here. Vivian, let's hit it with the sales sorceress.
Oh my goodness. She went from selling, little crafts on a front lawn as a little baby 7-year-old. And then she went on to build a multiple 7-figure real estate company, becoming the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She's placed more women salespeople than anyone in the country at Align Sales, where she happens to be CEO. Welcome, Bella.
Hello.
What's up, Bella Burita? How are you doing today?
I am extraordinary. How are you, sir?
You are always extraordinary, and that is extraordinary. So I am grateful. I am present. I am ready. And how large is that tortoise again, Bella?
It was like, there was like one that was like a baby tortoise that was probably, I don't know, like your size. And then there was like the gigantic one, which I don't think you saw that one because I think you were on the phone that Anil was feeding. And this tortoise was like, like a small elephant. It was so massive.
It was unbelievable. The one I saw was unbelievable. I can't even imagine the other one.
Yeah.
So yes, we have reptiles. We have people overcoming obstacles, saying, take this job and shove it. People from the Platinum Partnership, people in Super Bowl commercials. It's another day at the Real Raw, Vivian, just like, a Tuesday.
Hey.
Yeah. So Vivian, love you. You're extraordinary. I could not be more grateful. We would not be here without you. So thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
All right. Bella Burrito, are you ready to take us in?
Let's do this.
Who's
get
going
this show
first?
Started. Who is going first? Mike, choose a number 1 or 2.
2.
2. Eric, you get to decide if you're going to go first or if you're going to throw Mike under the bus and he's going to go first.
Well, Michael, I would not want to not let you go first. So why don't you go first?
So polite.
Thank you, Eric.
Right under the bus. Right. So excellent. So, Mike, here's the deal. Bella can be whoever you want. Influence is a superpower. We're unlocking it, unpacking it, going from low to yes, but not like Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. In fact, we had a reference like that today already. It's heart-centered, integrous influence is present. 6 minutes, hello to yes. And the yes doesn't have to be an absolute ultimate sale. It could just be for a longer meeting on whatever the subject would be. So Bella could be herself. She could be an ideal client avatar or any person that exists in the world. Mike, who would you like Bella Verita, the sales sorceress, to be today on the Real Raw?
Excellent. Well, Bella, I would like for you to be a hardworking mom of, let's say, 2 children.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bella, are you ready?
I am ready.
Mike, is this a cold call, a set call, a bump into? What is it?
We're going to take it right from the kitchen table. So how we do come right to the kitchen table. So I'm actually going to do like a mini presentation as if we was in the home.
Cool. All right. So 3 minutes in round 1, you're going to get interrupted. Like Bella's going to have to go run and grab the phone and then she'll come back for a second 3 minutes. In this first 3 minutes, judges, we're assessing emotional connection, heart-centeredness, like the opening of listening. In the second section is where we're talking about looking for the yes that Mike is eventually and Eric going to get to. So Mike, you're at the kitchen table. Bella, there's like food cooking. Take us in.
Excellent. Well, Bella, I want to say I appreciate you opening your doors to take a couple minutes to let me explain what I do and how I help families. So let me ask you a question. I see you have 2 children here. How old are they?
2.
Oh, they're twins?
They're twins.
Okay, excellent. Beautiful. What's their names?
Molly and Beverly.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, I love the fact you have children. I have 2 beautiful children as well, but they're not as small. They're 13 and 18. And I tell you now, the age that they're at now, enjoy it. It only gets worse. No, I'm joking. Let me ask you a question. What kind of work do you do, Bella?
I am an entrepreneur. I have a sales agency.
Excellent. That's amazing. We love working with entrepreneurs. So as being your own boss, I know that money matters to you, right?
It does. I like it a lot.
It does, right? Okay. So let me ask you a question.
The nanny's not free.
I definitely understand that. So you being an entrepreneur and you understand that every dollar counts. Do you have somebody that watches over your finances?
I do have someone that that I have my like 401k and like that does all of that, for me. I'm not I don't look at it as often as I should, but it's there.
That's great. So the program that we actually have is called a financial needs analysis. And what that allows us to do is a free look. There's no obligation to you. It allows us to look over stuff that you already have and see how we could supplement or add to in addition to what you have. The fact that you're an entrepreneur, the fact that you already started down the road with your finances show me that you're responsible. You have 2 beautiful children and, have you even looked into, college or different things like that as far as funding their education later?
I have not. I don't believe in college.
Okay. I totally
So,
understand
and
that.
it'll be up to my kids if they want to go to college. But I think unless they're like a profession, like, doctor, lawyer, veteran, something like that, I'm not sure in this day and age that college is necessary.
Hey, listen, I totally understand it. Whatever path they choose, I understand. But you being an entrepreneur, I know you say you had a 401k, but there's other avenues or other benefits to us looking at your program, so we can help you maybe save some money and invest in different ways as well. So I would love to, today is not going to be a hard sell. All right. Today is just allowing me to show you how we can help your family in the long run. Because our goal is to build a relationship over time. Does that make sense?
It does.
For
It
example,
does. Hey, Mike, I hear a screaming baby. I gotta go attend to that. I'll be right back.
No problem. Take your time.
Alrighty.
All right.
Mike, how'd that feel for you?
Felt good. Felt good.
Excellent. Bella, are you ready for Eric?
I am ready for Eric.
Eric?
Let's go, Mr. Miami.
Yes. Who would you
I
like
don't
to-
know if Eric is ready for you. I was told I was going to be a judge, so this is putting me on my heels. So I'm excited.
Ooh. Thank you for this in very exciting pivot.
Yes. I just had someone on my Raw that was in the same position, and they said that it was actually one of the best things they ever could have done because it was the first time that they had been uncomfortable in a while. So
Oh,
welcome.
well, I'm a big Tony fan. And so one of my favorite quotes is, the quality of my life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty I can comfortably accept on a daily basis. So I like uncomfortable situations. So
Let's do this.
So for me, what would you do? How about I am talking to you about consulting services or possibly a strategic investment into a line?
Okay. Like you,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah. So about, and maybe under the auspice of we bumped into each other at an event, like a Tony event.
Fantastic.
Nice. Love it.
So Bella, you were telling me a little bit about your organization. Could you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in business for a year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we started at the beginning of 2020. And, and then, as you know, we went into a pandemic in March of 2020. And our first year in business, we were actually profitable. And which I hear from my CPA is quite extraordinary for a first year of business. So I am pretty excited. We had about a 22% profitability overall. So that was pretty fantastic. And that includes like all of the investments that we made to grow the business. So pretty exciting.
No, netting that sort of number, especially during a pandemic, that's very impressive. And you probably know that actually 50% of businesses fail in the first year. So the fact that you're even going into the second year is to be applauded. So that's awesome.
Thank you. And we staff. So even before that, before the pandemic, we staff remote sales professionals. So during the pandemic is, I think why we grew so much is because people needed to hire remote people, and business, the oxygen of any business is sales. So, we were definitely solving a huge problem during the pandemic and ongoing.
You were forward looking.
Yes.
So during that last year, what would you say the biggest frustration or impediment or thing that you just wanted to pull your hair out was on a consistent basis?
I think, being able to even hire more team members, having our own sales manager, having our own marketing team, those things were definitely things that I wanted to pull my hair out around, because I love investing in people. I think people is where, we get to invest into grow companies. And, being the CEO and the founder, there was many, 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 many hats that I was wearing. And, so wearing all the hats, and I'm not great at all of them. So I would say that's probably like that, and actually finding really great salespeople. But that problem's been solved this year by partnering with Unblinded and following the formula. So that problem's been solved.
So on the CEO side, when you have those tough calls to make, or the roles that you're not as maybe comfortable with, who do you lean into? Who do you go to for help?
Well, now I go to the Unblinded team and Sean Callaghan because I'm part of their elite program, and so now I have some really great coaches, and so now when I'm having those moments, I definitely go to my coaches over there at Unblinded. But I got to take a quick call. I love where this conversation is headed, so if I can come back to it in just a couple of minutes after I take this call, that'd be great.
Oh, no problem. I'll be right here.
Okay, thanks.
Eric, your energy is just so congruent and present. It's like just there and resonates. So appreciate hearing you and connecting with you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. I love talking to people.
And how did this feel for you?
No, it felt great. I love learning about people's businesses. I've been very fortunate in my career to be able to see the blind spots that people have in their businesses and those slight tweaks that they can make to unlock massive success. And so anytime I have an opportunity to talk to an entrepreneur and to learn about their journey into whatever they're doing, I absolutely love it.
That's awesome, brother. Well, thank you for that. Bella, round one, how did that feel with you, with your connections with Eric, Mike?
Yeah, I love your word of like congruence, just both gentlemen. The congruency is amazing.
Outstanding. Bella Verita, should we hit the judges?
Let's do it.
All right.
I don't think we should hit them though. I don't know if they would like to be hit.
So Rick, we go 30 seconds each, 15 seconds on what was working, what could be optimized, 15 seconds as well. And then a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Please, Rick, what did you have first for Mike?
Mike, great job. I like the fact that you set it up and you went to the kitchen table and you started talking about the kids right away. So good job on that. You went in and you shared a little bit about what you did, and like you went right into the business part of it, like the financial needs analysis. I think that she threw you off a bit when she threw that piece about college in there, and that was kind of tricky. And especially knowing your background a little bit. So that was challenging. I would have liked more questions. I give you an 8.0.
Nice.
Thank
How about for Eric?
Okay. For Eric, I like the fact that you jumped in right away with questions, and your questions were good. They sounded like pretty experienced questions, like you had done stuff like this before. You got her talking about her staff, talked about partnering. Once she got lit up about talking about her partnership with Unblinded, she really got lit up. You stayed with the questioning at that point. You didn't veer from it. I like that. Great depth. And you were kind of relating. I give you a 9.0.
Nice. Thank you for that, sir. Mark, how are you? And what do you have, please, for Mike?
Okay, Mike, great job. It resonated with me because we're sort of in the same field. It came off right from the bat as warm and friendly, and you asked about her family and occupation, and you kind of mirrored her love for the kids, sharing your experience with her. So and you asked some open-ended questions too to get into it. I would have, like Rick said, tried to ask more questions, because I think you could have uncovered maybe a lot of stuff, but you validated her, telling her she was responsible, and overall very good job. I give it 8.1.
Nice. And
Thank you.
For Eric?
Eric, okay, where Mike was warm and friendly, Eric was enthusiastic, and I put down very open questions. They were the most open questions you could ask. Tell me more, that kind of thing. So for the 3 minutes that you were on, I think you said 30 seconds of words, and she said all the rest, but you were really digging. And you got her, I think, set up to really find what she's all about, because and you want to know about her, because you said, who do you lean on? So what kind of people that resonates with her? So great job overall. I wanted to see the last 3 minutes. I give you 8.8.
Nice, excellent job. And Julie, what do you have for Mike, please?
Well, awesome. Yeah, great job, Mike. Really loved it. I would say that to me, there definitely wasn't enough questions asked to Miss Bella. I felt like she gave you a bunch of openings, like my kids are running off here, or I'm doing this. And I felt like I was being pushed into financial services, and there wasn't enough time there to build a relationship with Miss Bella. It's almost like she wanted to tell you more about herself. But at the same time, you brought it together at the end. It sounded awesome. I as well give you an 8.8.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yes, yes. All right, Eric. Eric, absolutely loved it today. I could tell in that first 3 minutes, you sound like a buddy that I would love to have in life because you are such a great listener. You know how to ask a question, make the right pauses, as well as, you know, in the little responses that you had really seemed like you really cared about what Bella had going on. So I give you a 9.3.
Excellent
Nice.
job. Well, judges, very
I
good.
love your accent, and I love when people like call me Miss Bella, but like the way that you say it is so fun.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Bella, are you ready for round two? Miss Bella, are you ready for round two?
Yes, sir, I am.
Excellent. Let's take it in. Eric, Miss Bella is back.
Oh my gosh, Miss Bella, it's so good to see you again. How are you?
I am amazing. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. So I was thinking about what you were telling me about growth and how successful you've been this last year. It just got me wondering, where do you plan to take the company in, say, the next 12 to 18 months? What are your goals for that?
I would say my biggest goal for 2021 is to place 500 women in sales roles this year.
That's an amazing outcome. What's going to stop you from accomplishing that?
Finding 500 women to place is one, and I would say I don't think with all the things that we're doing with Unblinded now and that program, I don't think finding 500 clients to place salespeople with is a challenge, but I think finding the sales agents, which it takes a different marketing and outreach. And by the way, I did that last year with hardly any social media as well. So I think our big area for growth this year is, really investing in social.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, developing an audience that's brand centric for you could be amazing. Yeah. And I think an easy way for you to start developing that would take some of your previous placements and tell their stories in a podcast or short docu-style video format. I think
it's funny you say that because I host this show called So You Think You Can Sell Real Raw Open. And today we had one of those shows and it's like broadcast on the internet. And it was one of the best shows like on the planet. It might even give the regular Real Raw a run for its money, but that's a different story for a different day.
I love that. So no, that's something I think that you could leverage going forward. And maybe that 500 number is actually a little low. I don't know.
It's definitely, I think with us doing like this show and doing the Real Raw Open, because today was just extraordinary, like the movement and the shifts and like the women helping women was absolutely extraordinary. So I think, we start doing those every day. We'll definitely hit those numbers.
Now, is there any sort of capital constraint? I mean, or is the 22% that you're able to run at able to keep things going and, let you plan for your growth?
There is definitely some capital constraint for sure.
Interesting. So tell me more about that. So if you had an additional capital injection, what could that allow you to accomplish?
A lot, but I've got to go in like 10 seconds. So where do you think we should go from here?
I think that we should reconvene and I definitely want to learn more. I'm very smitten with your energy and your passion, and I could not be more excited about what your future is. And maybe there's a way for us to work together.
Fantastic. Sounds great. Oh, welcome back, Mr. Callaghy. I'm sorry. Were you in the room?
Yes, I was hearing the statements you were making about your Real Raw, but no, all kidding aside, congratulations, Bella. That is outstanding. In the space of Unblinded, we have many incredible people running Real Raw Opens, sort of like TED is the TEDx. But what I'm hearing from Bella is her TEDx event is beating the TED event. Is that what I'm hearing, Bella?
That is definitely, I challenge you to watch it this weekend. You, just like you conceded on the trampoline, you might have to concede to my Real Raw too.
All right, I will watch that. However, I did see the episode where you tried to play your intro video against, the one from our show here, and that did not fare so well. So we will.
We did that again today because we keep innovating, and you still did better. So we will keep innovating until we do get better.
Eric, we have a lot of fun here, and brother, let me tell you this: your energy is absolutely infectious. I just felt like this inner joy listening to you, your wisdom, your sharpness, your presence. It was really fantastic. So thank you for that, Eric.
Oh, no, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, and really thank you for jumping in as a participant today. I was unaware to that, and that's a very unique dynamic shift. So thank you for your courage, vulnerability, and generosity.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun to role play with you. So I appreciate you jumping in on the opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, you're too sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. So Mike, Bella's back. Screaming babies are calm. The food is cooking, smells delicious. And 3 more minutes of like where she goes to her financial future is at play. So Mike, back to you.
Excellent. So Bella, I know you're back now. Had to get the food in order and everything like that. So let me ask you a question. I know you're an entrepreneur. I know you're a mom. What are some of your long-term financial goals?
I would say, long term for me is all about lifestyle. I love to travel. So, traveling, nannies are important, I am very busy. So just my lifestyle, like, with chefs and things like that are all like super important. And then being able to, save for the future. Now for me, like, I don't ever see myself retiring. So like, that's not a thing because I love to work. I love to impact. I love to speak. So I don't ever see myself like, both my mom and my grandmother, worked basically until they, made their, or my mom has not made her transition, but not because they had to, because they wanted to, and so that's how I kind of see myself. So when I think about like my future, it's like, I don't know, as long as I can always maintain my lifestyle and I'm happy.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. This lifestyle you have, do you have a number on it per year? So if you had to say, for me to live this lifestyle, how much money do I have to generate on a yearly basis?
I have done those numbers roughly. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I've like revisited them, but I do have a spreadsheet somewhere with those numbers actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
for all like, I have a whole spreadsheet for like things that are like needs and then like things that are like wants.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, that's very important. For us to help you, maybe even guide you to where you want to go, we want to know where you're starting at. All right. So when you think of like a GPS, right? If you called me on the phone and you said, "Hey, Mike, I need directions to a certain place," my first question would be, "Well, where are you at right now?" Right? And that's something we can help. So when you go through this sheet, right? How often do you update it?
I probably have not updated it. It's probably been a couple years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's very important, especially being an entrepreneur like yourself, right? If your business was hemorrhaging money, wouldn't you want to know right away?
I mean, for business, that's a different story. I do my numbers every single month there, just not as often personally.
Mm-hmm, gotcha. Well, it's the same thing here. And I know we're going to close out soon. So that's where I come in. All right. So the fact that you didn't get a chance to update those numbers and look over, I can be your eyes on the sky for you. I can help you with that. We can go through the sheets together. I can do a needs analysis for you, help you create a spreadsheet so you know how much money you need every year. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, I would be interested in that. I got to run right now. Another screaming baby, but I'll look forward to connecting with you again.
Thank you so much, Bella.
You got it.
Mike, excellent work, my friend. You're doing fantastic work in this world. How did that feel for you?
Thank you, Sean. A lot more relaxed. It's a little easier when you're actually sitting at the home and you don't have judges, with you.
that is present for sure, brother. Bella, how was that round for you with these incredible Mike and Eric?
It was amazing. It was extraordinary. Like, we have incredible participants today that made me look really good. So I appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Miss Bella. And yes, so Mike, would you be okay if I was you for a moment and perhaps you would be, let's go with an entrepreneur named Joe, that's cool, and who owns a business, and you can kind of take the scenario whichever direction you want, but I'll be you, and we have a quick 3-minute encounter to talk about whether we should be having, something go on from there. Sound good?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So, hey, Joe, thanks so much for taking the call. It was truly outstanding connecting with you at that event. last month in Florida, and really appreciate you taking a moment. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for calling, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, so as you're talking about that day, and thank you for, by the way, attending my presentation, the space that I'm in is really freeing people from the stress of money, but also leaning in on a whole bunch of different dynamics that people don't see, I think, what they don't see about. So a quick question for you, right? Is it cool if we spend 2 minutes talking about this and deciding whether it would make sense for us to have a longer meeting? Are you up for that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey,
sounds good.
yeah. So what I believe, and I'll see how this resonates with you, is that people have very complex relationships with their money. And there's emotional dynamics, there's practical dynamics. And what I've found is in all the years that I've been working with people in and around money, I have not yet met one person whose entire dynamic was optimized, meaning how they approach money emotionally, how they decide what they're saving, investing, and what they're doing with it. And then once they get to that space, how they don't understand and haven't optimized the fees that they pay, the compounding power of money. And simply put, Mike, what this leaves, I'm sorry, Joe, what this leaves people with is a situation where they have a fraction of the money they could have had as they approach the later stages of life, but even during the earlier stages. So, when you think about your money and look at the time horizon, how does what I'm sharing resonate or not with you?
Resonate very well. And a lot of people that I know as well, they experience that same challenge you're talking about.
Yeah. And when you think about money and your relationship with it and like where it's all headed for you, what's that about? Like what comes up first for you?
Sometimes frustration because I'm not where I want to be financially. And, we have to scale the business back. So we can't do certain things that we would like to do because we don't have the cash flow coming in.
Amazing. Thank you for your courage and vulnerability. And if you had everything your way, when you think about your future, even 10 years out, or perhaps ultimately, where do you want money and freedom financially? Like, how do you want those things to fit into your life?
Well, I want to be able to, live a certain lifestyle, be able to travel with the family and not have to worry about money.
Okay.
I
yeah. And right now you're saying you're feeling frustration and I hear worry. How present is worry for you at this point about money and the future of money?
Well, I don't know what the future is going to hold right now because, I have to sit down and kind of map some different things out.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that like uncertainty and, maybe worry is present for you currently.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah. And how would it feel if that wasn't present and there was a plan and a structure, not only for yourself personally, but for your business?
Sign of relief. I mean, with the pandemic going on now, we just don't know what's going on. So some type of relief would be great.
Okay. So as we come to a close for right now, Mike, I'm sorry, Joe. I've been doing this for 20 years. And the space that I operate in is by sitting down with somebody who you connect with, trust, build a relationship with. Our approach to money can be something that's incredibly different. And while I'm not an expert in your business, our sit down and conversation around that space as well, I have a feeling it's going to unlock some things because what I find in not only people's personal life, but also within their business, there's some incredible internal conflicts that sit in the space of money emotionally that cause things. And so, yeah, that's some of the work that I do as well. And if that resonates with you, I'd be happy to sit for 30 minutes with you and go over it. And I can assure you of this, in that conversation, there's not going to be any heavy push to do something with me. If there's value there, we can have a conversation at a later time about working together. If there's no value there, I will apologize for wasting your time. So what are your thoughts?
Sounds good. I'm open to it.
Okay, pause. So out of roll. So how did that encounter feel for you, Mike?
I enjoyed it. I see that you made the emotional connection right away. I think that's big. And, just with interacting with people, that's something I know I can use more of. So that was amazing.
Yeah. So, and here's the bottom line. Every decision every human being makes in their life is emotional. And then we justify it logically. It's all emotional. And you can take the most logical people in the entire world and you can analyze their behaviors and their decision-making. At the end of the day, you'll find that they're all emotional, truly emotional. And for fun, Mike, in case you ever meet a logical person, would you like me to prove that to you?
No, I actually believe what you're saying. You're correct.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So we can go through some fun exercise around that at a later time. But yes, unbelievable. Bella, how was that dynamic for you? What was present?
Just watching you, do what you do is extraordinary. And it always just opens my heart with such gratitude that the people that come on this show get to experience that and get something so profound that they get to take away that impacts their business in such a great way.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And 23 years ago, when the work of Tony Robbins opened my listening and eyes to our fear around communicating with people and the beginning of what influence could look like, and sent me down a road of studying so many incredible people. It changed everything for me. And because sometimes people are like, oh, okay, well, you just were born with a certain skill set. And the answer is no, I wasn't. I got destroyed in running for class president in 8th grade. My sophomore year at Columbia, I ate lunch by myself the vast majority of the second semester because there were some dynamics and people, and I just didn't know how to communicate and handle it. So I just withdrew and would rather be by myself. So no, we're not born that way. And I did fail freshman high school geometry for the year as well. So this is a skill set. The ability to create the superpower of influence, whether it's Oprah Winfrey, Bruce Springsteen, Bono, Tony Robbins, it is a developed skill set of mastery. And that's what Unblinded is all about. So thank you for that, Bella. Let's go in reverse order. Julie, how are you? And yeah, please some feedback for these fine folks, perhaps this round, starting with Mr. Eric.
Well, for Eric, I know this last 3 minutes, was the close. And I felt like you didn't go for the close. I felt like we were just continuing to build a relationship. So there at the very end, I felt like it was kind of left off, and I would have most certainly went at her just with a little bit more intent. That's my suggestion for there. The score would be 8.7. Mike, you killed it. Your eyes were beautiful. That segment, absolutely beautiful. I would have most definitely hit on the chef. She was cooking and she was telling you what her lifestyle would be. I would have said, oh my gosh, so you're telling me that 30 years from now, you want me to sit at your table and watch a chef, right? So, I mean, that's just fun. Like Sean said, that emotion there, she was just wanting you to do that. But I loved your close. And I don't like long-term financial goal. That's really boring to me. But I do give you an 8.9.
Thank you.
Beautiful feedback, great analysis. Thank you so much for being here today and all your beautiful contributions. And how was today in the Real Raw for you, Julie?
Oh, I really loved it. I didn't know what to expect. I loved hearing you and actually everybody's opinion. So love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. Truly appreciate you. Mark, what say you, sir? How was your day on the Real Raw?
Awesome. I mean, you learn on both sides. You really do. And I was going to make a joke saying that what you did with Mike, I had that done to me, and you were almost as good as Fernando. I'm joking, but I was really impressed by him, and because he said, I never did anything with finance or investments, but I mean, he got me anyways. You guys really know how to connect with people, and I'm getting a lot out of the second time. I mean, but it's great to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Don't think I'm not going to post in the elite group for 1 second that Mike Turner said that Sean Callagy was almost as good as Fernando.
That would be funny because all we need to do is watch last Thursday night's call, Bella, and put that out there for what happened. So thank you very much. In that dynamic with Mr. Fernando.
That's okay.
He had a good teacher.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. We have a lot of fun here. But it was like Usain Bolt running against a high school student, but that's a story for a different day. What feedback do you have, my friend?
No, I saw warmth too in Mike, and he did a good job this time getting her to open up, and he asked her about her goals. He did the baseline where she said, today, where does she want to go? Talked about GPS, so he was painting a good picture that he could work her through. She kind of rambled a little bit, but that's not on you, Mike. but you got her back on track. You got a lot of good information, and you demonstrated that you were really listening to her. And and the close was good too, in the sense that she wants to hear more about what you have to say, and that's what she wanted to get to. So I gave it 8.8.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike.
Excellent, my friend. And so do we have Rick ready?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Please, yeah, let's go for Eric. And
Okay, so Eric, in round 2, I liked when you started out, you asked her where she wanted to go with the company, so you picked up right where you left off. I love the question, what will stop you from doing that? So anytime you bring up the obstacles, terrific open-ended question, making her think. She did go down the social media road, tell some stories. I love the suggestion that you could help her with, getting those interviews and having people, you had some fun with it. I did think it was light on the ask, though. She was leading you to it and you didn't take the bait. So I'm going to give you an 8.6 for that round. And for Mike, loved it. You were much more relaxed. You were patient even after the first round, even if with the kids and all that stuff. What are some of your long-term goals? Again, you kind of were still going down that financial road, the typical presentation. Want you to just kind of be you more, but yes, much more relaxed. You did go for the close. I appreciate that. You did get the yes, even though it was a rushed yes. I give you an 8.8.
Thank you so much.
So, and Rick, thank you so much. And if somebody would say like, hey, should I go on that Real Raw thing and judge? Like, what would you share with them?
Well, this is my second time. I don't know if you remember being on with me where we did the role reversal, which was amazing. So I'm loving it. I'm still buzzing from that one. And I loved what you had to say today. I loved Bella's energy and, just love the group. I think this is such a hot opportunity for everybody, no matter what you're doing. I actually asked to be a judge this time because I wanted to sit in this seat and kind of watch from this angle. So just love what you guys are doing. And I love the camaraderie.
Thank you so much. And we've had more than 2,000 fine and amazing people like yourselves be here over the past 7 months. So thank you for your contributions to each other, to Unblinded, and to the world, for all the fine folks that will see this. So thank you very, very much, Rick.
Thank you, guys.
Eric, thank you again. Platinum brother, couldn't be more grateful for your generosity. And how was today for you, my friend?
It was great. I honestly had no idea what to expect. And as always, Sean, you put together a fine group of folks who just bring amazing passion and energy and enthusiasm. And I was humbled to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. Bella's not usually the person, and there's somebody that in her shoes that does a much better job. So thank you for being patient with Bella.
Oh,
what
wow.
did you just say,
Wow.
Sean Callagy?
That's
What? You would never say something like that if I was in a room near you. Like if I was on the other side of the door or something while we were traveling, you would never say something like that.
No, I'm completely kidding. Bella, you're beyond extraordinary. We'll come back to that in a second.
I think now we should have an influence off between me, you, and Fernando.
Okay. I will happily do that. And what's the bet?
Oh, I knew there was gonna be.
Do I own 100% of a line when that's done? We'll go Unblinded against a line straight up.
You know, I always win bets against you though. So are you sure you want to go into a bet with me?
Eric will moderate. Let's go with it. But we'll come back to that. So Mike, how are you? How was the Real Raw for you today?
It was amazing. I appreciate being on the platform. I learned a lot, especially from you, the judges. I'm also hearing Eric as well pitch. I got a lot of value from him as well. So Eric, thank you. Thank you. Bella, appreciate your time. It was amazing. I mean, if anyone out there is listening, this is a great platform for any entrepreneur or business owner.
Thank you. And all the best to your son and his career. And so thankful for you being here. I'm loved high school football. I was a Division I college baseball player, and
Nice.
Really appreciate it. I went to Columbia University in New York, and we used to play Wagner in baseball.
Okay.
4 years ago. So awesome. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bella Verita,
Yes, sir.
you're extraordinary. So Miss Bella,
That's
thank
true.
you for everything that you do. I was, of course, joking to everybody. Bella, coming on as co-host of The Real Raw, has put this on rocket fuel, and you are standing for things in the world. And anybody that would have the unique privilege to spend time in proximity to you, to learn from you and accelerate with you is truly a blessed person. And that includes me. So thank you so much, Bella.
Thank you, Yoda.
Bella, your name in Italian means beautiful truth.
Yes, it is. That's true. Bella Burrito is not my birth name. It was a chosen name. So I actually chose that name for myself about 6 years ago.
The one and only. So final, Bella.
Final is if you want to come learn where, how Fernando got better than Sean Callagy at his own mastery, then you're going to want to come join us on Monday nights at 7 p.m. for what is Unblinded, what is the Real Raw, and how to master the formula so that you can have more money in less time with more magic. Monday nights at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Maybe Fernando and I will start leading so Sean can take some time off.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Last night we had Michael Burnett on, the president, CEO, founder of Success Resources, partners with Tony Robbins, and Michael did an incredible job. Dawood, 100 Black interns, changing the financial world, extraordinary story. So we had that recorded if anybody wants to check that out. And every Monday we have amazing, fine folks like yourselves who are up to huge things in the world. So thank you so much. Bella, thank you. Mike, Eric, Rick, Mark, Julie, fantastic job on behalf of the entire Unblinded ecosystem. Thank you. Maybe this is the end. If it is, remember, influence is a superpower, but preferably for all of us, this is just the beginning of our Unblinded journey together. Because Bella, we are all blind.
And just learning to see.